What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Not Riders Podcast. Today's special guest coming all the way from Pasadena, Texas. You may have seen him on the videos of, documentaries of rarely seen pictures.
Rarely seen.
Like I said, coming from Pasadena. He was former owner of Pioneer Fencing. Did a little brazing with him. Worked for Halliburton in the oil field. Now he's working like a Mexican out there for.
I'm the wrong race, man. I'm everywhere from a laborer to foreman and everything in between. Depends on what we're doing. We're pouring concrete right now.
I see that.
So good night, man.
Mr. Garret Park is with us today.
Yes, I am 27 years old, single, Pisces, like long walks on the beach, and I have a slight bit of autism. So.
And you're only 27?
20? Yeah, dude.
God damn.
I'm young, but I look old as shit, but.
Shit, I thought you were maybe 28, 29.
Nah, man, whenever we were working at Halliburton, I don't think I was even, 21.
Yeah.
It was, man, I was young.
Because I remember Wade was telling us that he's like, I'm going to bring another brazier. He's a really young cat. He was building fences and stuff, but I told him that this would be a great start for a career. And I'm like, okay, cool. Bring it on.
Wrong. Got laid off a year and 4 months later. Right after I bought that damn truck. Literally a month after I bought the truck. Everybody, bye. I was like, oh man. So.
But you got that truck looking great, man. It's fucking looking nice compared to when you.
Oh yeah, when I first had it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that truck it has been great, except for it turned into a royal pain in my rear about 6 months ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've had to do turbo. I got in that wreck. Had to replace the lift kit. Now I'm on, which I mean it's not a bad thing. I get better fuel mileage, but had to replace the turbo. Had a whole bunch of issues. I thought I was gonna have to rebuild the motor. I mean it was straight downhill, and then now I put 300 miles on it today.
Oh damn, 300 miles. And you only had it 20.
I've had it almost 5 years.
That's not bad at all.
No, I'm at 210,000 today. I bought it with 65.
Oh shit!
Yeah, when I had Pioneer Fencing, man, I drove the shit out of that truck.
I remember.
Yeah.
What happened to your long trailer, that 18-foot you had? You went through some shit with that trailer.
Oh
too.
Man, I bent the axles, broke the trailer. I still have it.
Oh, you still
have it? My boss let me park it on the job site. It's been shoved off in a corner for the last almost 3 years. I've been working there 3 years next month.
Oh, really?
And it has not left that spot. It has not. If I need a trailer, I'll borrow one of his, because the it is a pile now, man. It is bad.
But you don't plan selling or anything? You just plan to keep it
well, there? We have an electrician up there. He wants the trailer, and I'll let him know the axles, dude, the tires are like this on the axle. It's so bad. So you have to replace the axles. Whole bunch of the trailer has to be replaced. So I let him know that. I'm selling him the trailer, but I'm letting him take his time with it because, first off, I'm in no rush to sell it, number one. It's sat there for 3 years. It'll probably sit there for another year, 2 years. But number two, he's going to have to probably dump $2,500 into it the moment he grabs it. So.
That's what I when I had bought a 20-foot. I bought it from some white guy that lived close to Halliburton, off of 242, just a little more back over there by HEB and Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And I bought it for $500 or $800.
That's what I'm selling mine for, $500, baby. Hell yeah.
I had to put maybe about, like you said, 2,500. Yeah, about, because I had changed the axles. I had to get the rails on the side made and stuff. So.
Exactly what is going to have to happen to mine. I mean, mine is probably, it would be considered a pile of shit. But it depends who you are, man.
Yeah.
New tires, axle, and trailer's brand new. Problem is you can probably go buy a new trailer for about that much. Trailers have gotten expensive. Everything's gotten expensive, man. That's everything. Good Lord. I was looking into starting my boss threatened to fire me for reasons. Didn't though, so we're still good. But I was going to start a land clearing company. I started looking up dozers, excavators, skid steers, and 3 years ago, they were, a skid steer 3 years ago, a big one started about $80,000 for a really nice one. And, started about 60 actually. Now, for like a Kubota, Kubotas are not fancy. They're purpose built. But for a Kubota with a mulcher and all that nonsense to move dirt and clear property, $110,000.
Yeah.
Cats like they're one in $299. Yeah, the 299s I think are 140, 160. Like just ridiculous. And excavators are fucking stupid too, but excavators are expensive anyway.
So it'd be harder for anyone who wants to start his business.
Unless you want to go into a massive amount of debt or you buy used. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you gotta understand no warranty and stuff. And I've worked on our machines enough that I want a fucking warranty, dude. I swear our machines are breaking something every day, almost every day it seems like. And of course my boss wants me to fix it. I'm not a mechanic, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But good Lord, man, replacing lines, tracks, sprockets on tracks, hydraulic fluid, just everything. It's crazy.
But I mean, that gives you like the learning experience of when it comes into doing stuff like that, you already know.
Oh yeah, man. I am so much more grown and knowledgeable than I was whenever I first started. I was a little shit. Like my boss, I was breaking shit left and right. I was fucking stuff up. And now, like my boss will call me if there's a problem. Like if something happens, I'm the first one to lay hands on it. And then if I can't figure it out within a reasonable amount of time, we'll call our guys at ASCA or Bobcat, one or the other, and they'll come out and they'll take a look at it. And usually it's something easy that I just didn't know about, or a little more in depth, and I have an excuse. Mm-hmm. Like that damn Bobcat, man, I've taken the motor out of it twice now. Yeah.
What the hell?
Hey, I'm fucking pro. I need to go work for Bobcat.
For real?
Shoot, but
in Houston.
yeah, Bobcat of Houston, dude. That's where. We have a guy. I can't remember his name, but he came out a couple weeks ago because we had a hydraulic leak and nobody could find it, and it was hitting our exhaust on it. So all the hydraulics are run down the sides and up under the cab, and your exhaust is in the back. Well, hydraulic fluid was making it to the exhaust somehow, and we have no idea how. And he came out and just fucking replaced it in 15 minutes. I was sitting there looking at it for 3 hours. So.
You're like, what the fuck?
I was pissed. I was pissed because my boss was looking at it. He couldn't find it. I was looking at it. I couldn't find it. Called the Bobcat guy. He came out, fixed it in 15 minutes. My boss was like, what the fuck I even pay you for, man? Like, first off, okay, I'm not a mechanic. That's not my forte. My forte is going out and I pick dirt pile up. I move dirt pile. I spread it out, grade it. Apparently I pour concrete now.
How long ago did y'all start doing that concrete?
Last week we've poured.
Oh, yeah, it just started recently.
Yeah, we almost poured it. So it was me and Vienno for the last few months, and which is one of our other guys. He's one of our Mexicans, of course. Hard working. He he can outwork me left and right. But we started that a couple months, or it was me and him for a couple months. And my boss was like, "Oh yeah, dude, we'll just pour it one slab at a time. Not a big deal. One truck." Well. Because you can't pour concrete with two guys. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but pouring like roads and slabs for RVs, it's almost impossible. Yeah. And so, finally convinced him. We ended up going through a temp agency. We've gone through a couple of guys. We've had two guys quit, which we were going to fire them anyway if they didn't quit, so it saved us the trouble. But we've got two really good guys. We had another guy pour with us on Friday, his first day. He didn't do bad. We didn't have to yell at him, so that's nice. It's always a perk when you don't have to yell at him, because we had another guy that we were freaking having to rip. I was in a Bobcat pouring it with the bucket because we couldn't get to it with the chute. I mean, there was just no other way to it. Yeah. And so I was pouring it with a bucket, and I would get out of the Bobcat, and I was ripping the tool out of his hands to move all the concrete, and then I'd hop back in the Bobcat, go get another load, come back, and it was just. And then my boss, bless his heart, you should never have to let boss man take the tool out of your hands. And my boss ripped the tool out of his hands, told him to get the fuck out of the way, and he started working the concrete. My boss is like, I think he's 60 or 61, so a little on the older side to be doing concrete. He shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more than capable. He's a spry man. I almost called him old, but if he sees it, he'd rip my ass. But
that's a hard labor right there.
Oh, and he works his ass off. My boss does. He almost went down there to Galveston with me, and I ended up having to call him. I was like, dude, don't come down here, man. I was like, I'm about to leave, but this is dog shit. It's so bad.
God damn.
Yeah, man, we've had a lot of adventures on that job site, like a lot, because we probably brought in 1,200 trucks of dirt, and we brought the whole property up 4 feet in some areas, down to a couple inches in others, just to get the grade. We've run probably about 2 miles of drainage, like catch basins, pipe. We graded it all. We built a bridge. And not a small little shit bridge. It's like 60 feet wide, or it's like 60 feet long and probably 70 feet wide. And we didn't reroute the creek. We just corrected the creek for legal reasons. I have to say that. But we did. We poured these concrete blocks with this nice like stone outside.
Yeah.
Probably poured 300 of them. Lined the whole creek with them. Poured concrete slabs underneath so they don't sink or anything for obvious reasons. 2 retention ponds, and God, now we're pouring concrete. Did some stuff with the building, but I hate talking about that stuff. I hate anything to do with buildings and structure.
So yeah, like at this job that I do, this is like laying out foundation for big companies out here. Or?
No, this is my boss's. It's my boss's property.
Oh, is it boss?
He bought the property. He's developing it. He's going to keep the property.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he built his own apartment complex 6 years ago, something like that. The apartments I live in, he bought them whenever there was only one phase, which I think there was like 100 and something apartments maybe, and then he built onto it, and now there's 3 phases, 420 apartments, something like that. And so he was a general contractor through it all, like he was the one running the show. And so I guess he got a wild hair one year and bought this property, and I just so happened to be right place, right time. I met him while I was fucking up a building at a car wash. I built the fence around it and told the contractor, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. If you want me to pour the slab or build the building, anything, I have no idea. And he goes, oh, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine, man. Whoever went and cut out for the footer, it was about a foot off from being square, which is a fair bit. And then we poured the concrete. Concrete came out like shit. I did the roof. Don't know how to do a roof, so obviously that came out terribly. I don't think that the only thing on that entire building that was good that I did was the fence around it.
Fence around it?
Yeah, not a damn thing on that building that was nice.
But you did fences like even before you started working at
Oh yeah, me and my dad, whenever I was 19, I just got out of college. We started and built fences with him for a year and a half, 2 years until I got hired on at Halliburton because I wasn't making shit for money, man. We were getting every fence we bid, but we were underbidding the shit out of them, and it was just me and him. And so he probably fired me in that year and a half. He probably fired me about 40 or 50 times, and I probably quit about 70. So it was a
frustrating job.
Oh. No, it was just me and him are two alike, but we would try to do the same thing, just different ways.
Oh, okay.
And so we'd butt heads a lot, and I never wanted to get into a shoving match in a customer's front yard, but it happens, I guess. So I started at Halliburton, worked there for a year and 4 months. That's the only real length of time I remember, because I started in January 14th, and I worked till like April 14th the next year.
Yeah, the 2020.
Yeah. And then I bought a lot of Halliburton stock. So I took all of my savings whenever Halliburton stock was $5 a share. They laid me off. I took all of my savings, dumped it into Halliburton stock.
Really?
Yep. Smartest thing I've ever done, because I think I ended up selling it when it was $20 a share, and that's what kickstarted Pioneer Fencing, Pioneer Fencing.
So that's when you got the money to do your own
thing. And then they did that. What was it? What was it called? Like 80% of the staff got laid off or something, so everybody got, I think, one paycheck or something from them.
Yeah, one full paycheck.
Yeah, and so that money, which Halliburton wasn't, they were paying me decent, not compared to what I am getting paid now, but Halliburton was rough. If you looked at how much the bits were worth that we were working on and doing stuff with, man, dude, Halliburton was fucking us so bad.
And you would get away with nobody noticed.
Oh yeah, I mean nobody noticed until I was.
Until now, when you were
yeah, until I started realizing, I started looking at it. I was like, dude, man, some of those bits are freaking expensive, and I'm over here. I think I was making $18 an hour, which it wasn't terrible, but it's not great.
Not for the amount of work and hours we had.
No, man, I remember getting my first W-2 from them, and I think I made $27,000 in a year, and I was making $13.50 an hour for a construction company. So you can do the math there.
Yeah, that's why when I worked, because I worked from Hub from 2013, 2014 to basically 2020, and they were like, man, you must be making a lot of money and stuff. But man, when like from outside you look at it, you're like, oh, it looks like a great company. I mean, the big name, Halliburton, one of the biggest names here. But when you get in there, you start seeing, underpay and all that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, whenever you walk out on the floor, and I think Danny was in the 30s. Well, I mean, he'd been working there since he was fucking 17, though,
yeah.
So that's understandable. But Danny was making good money. But whenever you compare it to how long he's been working there, I was like, dude, I don't want to be somewhere where I got to be 45, almost 50 years old, making almost $100,000 a year. And so construction's great. My back doesn't think so, and my knees don't think so either. And neither does my shoulders or my elbows or pretty much anything. My body hurts. I'm built like a 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
I feel terrible.
That's the only thing
every day.
downfall about construction is it wears your body down quicker.
Oh yeah, that's why you got to shoot up to, you got a foreman or an operator. That's where the money's at, dude. Sitting in a machine. I mean, the operators start at like $25 an hour for knowing absolutely nothing.
Just running the machine around.
Oh yeah, like a dozer or a small excavator, and then the bigger you go, the more you get paid, and the more experience you get, the more you get paid. That's just the way it is. But
what made you want to get rid of your Pioneer fencing?
Well, COVID hit. COVID obviously hit, but COVID wasn't really causing an issue until we stopped shipping stuff from China. And then the material prices just fucking skyrocketed. Like 4x4s, I remember a time when 4x4s were like $7 for a 4x4x8, right? And then at the peak, they were $21 per 4x4. Damn. And then the 2x4s they used to be $4. Then the peak was like $12.
Oh, yeah,
and so I was selling fences that I was, at the end of COVID, whenever I ended up leaving or stopping Pioneer fencing, I was charging like $36 a foot for a fence that the year previous I was charging maybe $21.50 a foot, but I was making the same amount of labor. Nobody wants to pay $3,600 for a 100-foot fence. That's just ridiculous. And so, I mean, if you got that kind of money, you got it. But the people I talked to did not have that kind of money. And so I went from I had 2 crews rolling at one point. I was a part of the crews the entire time. But I had 2 crews, and I went down to 1 crew, and then I went down to just me and my boy Pat. He stuck with me as long as he could, and then I couldn't. He left, which I don't blame him, because I was paying him $120, $140 a day, which is the best I could do, and he couldn't afford to stay with me. So whenever he left, I was pissed off because we were on a job, but. Yeah, I just and then I met Tom, my boss now, and he pretty much made me an offer I couldn't refuse in a time that I was doing pretty rough. And so I owed a lot of money because I took out business loans and stuff that I thought we were doing great, and then it wasn't great anymore. And so he gave me a really good offer and a lot of experience over the years in a time where I really needed it. So I'm sticking with him.
So he kind of he was like your little angel.
Yeah.
You out
and I always think about it like there's certain things in life that like if it doesn't happen, then you don't get to where you're at right now. And it's always crazy. If I wasn't at the car building that thing at the car wash, and he owned a roofing company, and I think I was putting the roof on at the time, and he was like, that roof looks like shit. You know that's not going to stay right. And I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. And going from that to where he'd been doing business with my mom who worked at Lowe's. And none of this connected. I didn't know any of this. And so about a week later, after him talking shit to me, of course, it's a beautiful way to meet. It's how you should meet everybody. Him talking shit to me about the roof. My mom came, I was living with my parents at the time. My mom came home and was like, hey, I've got a gentleman who, he needs like a foreman. He needs a laborer. And I've got his number here. He's not in town right now, but you can give him a call. I was like, all right, cool. Called him twice. I think I don't know if it was his secretary. I got somebody. And, and he called me back like 3 days later. Well, I was like, hey, can I come in for an interview? He's like, yeah, I'm flying back from New York. We'll get you interviewed up and make you an offer or whatever, see if I like you. I was like, all right. Well, when I showed up at the job site to get interviewed, I was like, it was one of those like Spider-Man moments where we're like pointing at each other. Because we'd already met and like talked and stuff. And so, yeah, and now the property, can't even tell it looks like a home property. Like there were trees, it looked like a fucking forest. And now it's just all flat. We kept a couple trees, a whole bunch of dirt work, but yeah, made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and now he's, shoot, I feel like I'm part of his family. I go and eat dinner with them, and all that.
That became very good.
Oh yeah, which is kind of rough sometimes because now I feel obligated to. Hey Garrett, well they've had me take 5 trips. It's 4 or 5. They flew me up to New York one time. I drove back with some stuff from one of their houses up there. And then they ended up selling a house up there, and so I made 4 more trips back and forth. And it doesn't sound bad until you realize that it's in a large Penske truck. That is a 36-hour drive.
Yeah.
And we stopped and took breaks, but no, dude, we were driving back from New Jersey the last time, and I was in a giant Penske truck. I'm just sitting there like toward the end of the drive. I'm sitting there like my face is glued against the glass.
Trying to stay awake.
Oh yeah, they'd call me and they're like, "Hey, are you good?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." I remember parking the Penske truck, and it was right before the hurricane hit. Beryl, I think it was. I'm talking. We got back Saturday morning. The hurricane hit Monday.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna take the whole weekend off. I'm gonna sleep. The hurricane's hitting. I'm gonna sleep through the hurricane. Like I don't even care. That's not how any of that went down. Because they called me at like 7 a.m. on Saturday. We got back at 2 a.m. on Saturday. Same Saturday. Called me at 7. They're like, hey, you want to come in, get some hours? We got some stuff we got to unload some stuff, do this, do that. I'm like, okay, sure, perfect. And so I came in. I'm dead tired. I think I worked 5 or 6 hours. And I was like, perfect. My weekend starts now. Until they called me at 7 a.m. on Sunday because the hurricane was coming in. And so they're like, hey, we got to go out there. We got to hurricane-proof everything. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. So I go out there, and it wasn't bad. It was a couple hours. I had to put some, we have a TPO going across the roof, which is like a plastic, it's basically like a giant tarp, but very sturdy. And so we ran foam in there for insulation. They put the TPO up. We did not. That's where I draw my line, is roofing. No. But I also thought I drew my line of concrete too, but that line got crossed. But yeah, so I was over there, tired as can be, sitting on a 20-foot building, and I'm sitting there screwing in all the screws going all the way around. And I thought it was a joke. I thought my boss was jokingly asking, hey, are you going to work tomorrow, Monday, the day the hurricane hit? I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll work. And I get up at 6:30 anyway, and so I was up at 6:30, blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some runs around and see and go to the shop, see how everything is, blah blah blah. And so I get on the road, heading to work. But I thought I wasn't gonna work, but I did end up working. But I'm heading to work, and I'm sitting there driving. It's about 6:45, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, wow, there's only emergency vehicles out here, not another vehicle other than ambulances, fire trucks, policemen. That is it. That is it. That is all. And there are trees falling on 1960, and I'm just sitting there driving around them all honky-dory. Get to the job site. I don't have my keys to open the gate, so I called them. I'm like, hey, y'all coming to work? Ha ha ha! And they're like, yeah, we're on our way. No laughing. I was like, oh, fantastic. So yeah, I worked through the whole hurricane. Had to do some hook up the generators while it was pouring ass rain. Trash. My dog was playing. Thought it was a great time to go play in the woods while trees are falling. So there was that. It was a great time.
So yeah, through that whole the eye was raining as hard as it could be. I was still.
I was at work.
I
was at work. I watched. We had a fence fall. I watched the fence fall. We drove back to the apartment complex. I cleared some catch basins that had some debris in them, and there was a tree that had fallen behind the apartment complex. We drove back to the shop, grabbed some chainsaws. We were working,
yeah.
And it was me, Tom, and his son TJ, Tom Jr. I think I can't confirm that. I think it's Tom Jr., but I'm not sure. I've known the kid for 3 years now, so love the guy to death. I just call him Teach, or I yell at him. He makes me very angry sometimes. But yeah, we were working. We were cutting up trees, moving them and stuff. I was talking shit to Tom's son, of course. Broke the pull cord on our chainsaw, so I had to go get another one. But yeah, we worked through it, and then we had an 18-wheeler that was supposed to come in with the rest of their stuff from their house. He wasn't making it through the hurricane. He said I think he parked up in parked up here in Huntsville until that hurricane rolled through.
Yeah, it was over here. It was pretty bad. It gets flooded quick now, like it does in Houston here. Yeah, you used to not be like that.
Yeah, I like to say it's the construction going on. It's the ongoing construction that's the problem, because I learned this. There are certain drainage. They have to have certain drainage and this, that, and the other for ongoing construction, and there's X amount of drainage you have to have for whenever you finish it up. But ongoing construction, they're kind of a little more lenient. Plus, there's just sometimes you can't help it. You can't dig a retention pond in 4 hours. That's not how it works. So I like to say it's all the construction going on, all the new concrete running to places where it has nowhere to run, so it just builds up. But I also don't know. Weathermen in Texas also suck.
Yeah,
they're freaking terrible, man.
They tell you it's 100% chance of rain and it don't rain.
Yeah, and then they'll say, 20% chance of rain, and then it's just
hardcore
hurricane. Like, dude, pouring concrete at this time of year is ridiculous. Because down where we're at, the job site's in Humble. We're freaking 70% chance of rain, no rain. And then so we start our pours at like 11:30 because if it's not going to rain by now, it's not going to rain the rest of the day. So we'll start our pours and then we'll start sprinkling. And so it fucks up the broom finish and this and that. And then on Friday, on Friday we poured 2 trucks, and it was 30% chance of rain until the concrete got there. And then it was a 70% chance of rain. And so we're pouring all this concrete while it's raining. It was. I'm not gonna say it was a shit show, but it could have got a lot better. And then we set ourselves up to where we were gonna use a pump truck. Great idea. Until I mentioned to my boss that we do in fact have a crane. Why not we just get one of those chutes? I should have just kept my foot in my mouth, because now we're pouring all the concrete, most of the concrete slabs that we can't reach with a truck, we're pouring with a chute, and it only goes 1 yard at a time. And so where we get the concrete from, we got to swing the crane all the way around, pick up the concrete, swing it all the way back around, while dodging like a 9-foot fence on one side. We got a building on the other, can't swing it that way. So my boss is having to go drop it, pick it up, go over the fence, come back around, drop it down. We unload it, then just back and forth. So it's not as bad. We got an extra person on Friday, so that was not as sore, not as bad. My right nipple was a freaking callus when we finished our first pour, because I guess concrete guys know this, but I obviously don't. I'm white, but makes sense though. Makes sense. But you can put Vaseline and stuff, and it helps with all the rubs. Well, I obviously didn't know that, and so I got concrete on my nipple area, and so when I'm sitting there raking, I've got offset nipples, so it's kind of odd. But I'm sitting there rubbing, and it's like rubbing my nipple the whole time. And I went home, and it was bleeding.
Holy
and
shit.
I don't know if you've ever bled out of your nipple before, but it's not. It worries me. I may not worry normal people. I don't know. But I ended up having freaking the day after. It was tender as all get out, and so I'm like, I'm trying to be careful and stuff. So we poured on Tuesday. That's when my nipple started bleeding. Wednesday we started tying up rebar. Thursday was our next pour, and then we poured on Friday too. So poured on Thursday, and I'm over there. I've got a callus like you get on your palm, but it was my nipple, and so it worked out a little bit better. I mean, I'm not trying to peel the callus off. It doesn't look weird. It stays hard for some reason. I mean, it looks like it's 30 degrees outside the whole time, but it is what it is. Don't get any plates or anything. I'll cut them. Like, it's pretty bad.
And that's what people start telling you to rub Vaseline.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, lo and behold, on Friday, of course, after we're done doing all these pours, and I'm sitting there bitching about my nipple of all things, they're like, oh, yeah, you just get a little bit of Vaseline, toss it on there, and it helps with, like, the abrasion and stuff. Like, it won't be as bad. Like, it'll still be bad if you get concrete on your nipple, as I feel like anything would be. But, yeah, they're like, oh, it won't be that bad. I'm like, I'm going to try that out, actually. So I got to go pick me up some Vaseline after this, because I think we got a pour coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
So I'm about to...
But it's supposed to be rain this whole week. Again.
Shh. All right, shh, man, come on. Come on. I think we have 985 more trucks to pour. Okay, I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible. So each spot, we're shooting for about 275 spots, roughly. So each spot is one truck. So that's 275 trucks at the bare minimum.
God damn.
So, and then we've got the whole road to pour.
Oh shit! You still got
so my bet was we were gonna finish by October, and I told my boss that, and he told me I was basically retarded. He's like, "You stupid or something?" Like, I guess it looked like I was Forrest Gump on the bus, and they're whatever that woman's name was. Are you stupid or something? Like that was me. So yeah, my boss was like, "No, we'll probably finish pouring concrete next year sometime." And of course, I'm being a smartass. I'm like, "Oh, is that a challenge?" He goes, "You can pour if you want." He goes, "You'll die though." Fair. Yeah, fair enough, man.
And with all this rain, I feel like this year we've had more rain than ever.
Yes. The weather this year has been ridiculous. I mean, shoot, we've had. What was it? We've had one hurricane, and it was the earliest hurricane in hurricane season in the last 20 years or something like that. And then we thought we were going to have another hurricane right after that one, and that one, thank goodness, I think it hit Mexico or something. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't. That's not our problem. Right? Maybe it hit Louisiana or something. Still not our problem. But now there's something else in the Gulf right now, and it's got like an 80% chance of hitting Texas.
Yeah.
And if it's anything like Barrel, because it's shooting for, I think, like northern Mexico, Corpus Christi area.
Yeah.
So like that whole chunk, but Barrel was too. And Barrel came right smack dab in our butthole, like straight through us. So I don't trust weathermen. Yeah. They could say there's nothing out there, and you're a liar. All right. I'm a weatherman at this end. I can predict the weather just as good as them right now.
Cause I know someone they had posted, was it ABC? I can't remember who, but they had posted that there was a massive hurricane in development and stuff, and someone I guess found that article was like from 2013.
Oh yeah,
man. It was
yeah, people reposting. There was one. I think it was Harvey too.
Yeah.
And some nobody looks at the dates. I'm also nobody. I don't look at the dates, and I'm over there panicking. I'm like, oh, we got a fucking hurricane again. But yeah, people would go back and repost all that, and then there was I think it was a fake hurricane going around a couple weeks ago, and I think I reposted it too. I was like, you fucking kidding me? And yeah, no, it wasn't real. It wasn't real.
I hate because I remember when MGK and Eminem was doing their rap battles, someone had, and somehow they made themselves sound like Eminem, and it was like a response to MGK, and I thought it was Eminem, so I reposted that shit. I was like, damn, Eminem killed this guy. And so I was like, you know that's not Eminem.
What an idiot.
I was like, fuck. Man. I I made myself look like a fool, man. I was like, holy shit.
Hey, that's one of those you got to chalk it up. You know what? Hey, that's a good impression. You know, I don't know what to tell you.
I was like, oh shit, he could fool my ass.
And then they got AI and stuff now. Like, that shit's crazy.
There's a lot of videos I've seen, like, early this morning I was watching. A lot of them, like, they grab, like, people's podcasts, and somehow they interpret the voice exactly the same.
Oh, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, like Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Dude, I was listening to one, and I was like, Joe Rogan's on some shit now. And then I was like, wait a second. Because I think it was Joe Rogan and, I'm not racist. Who's that black science guy? It's not Bill Nye. He's white. I know that for a fact.
Oh, no, you're talking about Neil?
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And they were talking about some, like, aliens or something. I can't remember what it was specifically. But I was like, man, they're on some shit, dude. That's crazy. And it was fake. Like, it wasn't real. The words weren't even matching their mouths.
Yeah, that's how I could tell.
I was like, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm sitting there. It was like a 7-minute video. And I watched the entire thing. I was like, that's wild, dude.
Yeah,
no, not even real.
You ain't ready to share this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing, that you gotta pay attention to, like, their lips movements, because they won't match the words that's coming out.
I wonder if AI, I wonder if they'll do it to this one.
I don't know, maybe it depends on, because like you said, you started seeing it on TikTok, because I'm starting to post it more on TikTok, and then that's where they mainly grab videos.
Yeah, it's crazy that, like, just that where they've gone with AI is just insane to me. I mean, but I'm also, I probably got an IQ of I'm probably right above a carrot. I'm in between like a carrot and a zebra. Like, that's where the IQ is for that. That's me. So.
Well, the IQ now apparently is like, if you're at 98, you're smart. I started seeing that come out.
I have no idea what my IQ is. I don't ever want to get tested. I've taken a couple of the autism tests. Not on the spectrum legally, so we're good. But I am in construction and I go to work every day, so there's a little bit of. I may be also kind of retarded though.
Well, I mean, we work with like a bunch of Mexicans, don't you? Like.
Yes, actually, I am. Me and my boss, we are the token white kids. I work with. We've got Vieno, Frankie. We call him Frankie. No offense to him or anybody else. I can't say his name. It is something like that. And even that, me trying, I butchered it. So we call him Frankie. Another gentleman named Israel. He's Hispanic, and then we have a Miguel now. I call him Miggy. I gave him a nickname within the first hour. I was like, "Your name's Miggy." Like Miguel Cabrera. He looks nothing like him, not built like him or anything. But I like the name. I like giving people nicknames. Vieno's name's not even Vienna. It's Octavio. Not even nowhere near it. Not even close.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm the token white child. Everybody likes to remind me of that as well. And then when we're pouring concrete, I always say, "Oh, I was born the wrong race," like as a joke. Should have been Mexican. But I don't know. Might have been fun. I got some fine women, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know. But what I like is the Venezuelans and the Brazilians. If I wasn't married.
Yeah. Just say it for legal purposes. If I wasn't married.
My wife will be watching the videos.
Oh, man. Okay, well that's a fight that's gonna happen later, but it's not gonna happen now, so we're good. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. So we've got Israel is from the border, not Mexico. He's out near Laredo area.
Oh. Okay.
So he's on the border, but not
like McAllen somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And then Vieno is from Southern California.
Damn, man, he's over here in Texas?
Oh yeah, dude.
What the hell?
He doesn't like. He's going to visit after this job's done. He's going to go visit over there for about a month and a half. But everything in Texas is terrible. Okay, we got to say that for anybody watching from California. But California's expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
like everywhere in
I
California.
think the minimum wage is like $20 an hour.
Yeah, but the problem with increasing minimum wage like that is they increase inflation too. Like everything gets more expensive because. I think that's a big thing a lot of people don't understand is you can't just increase minimum wage and expect everything to stay the same price. They either have to make more money to pay their people or they got to fire people. So there's not. Now, I'm not saying the $7 minimum wage is great, but there are ways to make money and not be minimum wage. I mean, construction, for example. Perfect example is construction. I think starting as a laborer in almost any aspect, minimum $13 an hour, 16 to 18 years old, right out of high school, you can make bare minimum $13 an hour, and usually it includes overtime. So you can make 30 grand a year, roughly.
Yeah.
Ballparking here. I'm not good at math either, so there are taxes taken out and stuff like that.
I think because there's a lot of young little Mexican kids that will drop out of school just to go work
And you know what? I'll tell you what. The young white kids, they want no part of it, man. Dude, I will tell you what. I called when we were looking for guys. I called my coach in my high school baseball coach.
Wait,
no, Wade came and worked for Pioneer Fencing for a little while too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
I thought he was just helping you out. Because you called me one time to help out.
Yeah, I called him. He came and worked with me for a couple of weeks, and he left. But that was I worked him like a slave, brother. We don't.
You got the payback.
We didn't fuck around, man. I was like, how the tables have turned. But yeah, dude, I called my baseball coach, and I was like, hey, man, you got any like young spry guys that want to come out and work construction starting wage? I think I told him like $17 an hour, which is not bad. It's great for an 18-year-old right out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, I would have taken it in a heartbeat. He asked me what we were doing. I said, we're about to start pouring concrete. And he said, fuck no. He goes, dude, he goes, these guys are soft, man. He's like, I don't have a single guy. And I'm not saying my generation's not soft. I know I've got a lot of friends that are making a lot of money in aspects they don't have to, it's not blue collar.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was like, dude, these guys are soft, man. They all want to be, and I'm not saying this is a bad route to take, but they want to be like realtors, lawyers, which is great, lots of money.
Yeah.
But good lord, dude, we have no
hard labor.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, no white kids, dude. We don't have any of the token white kids.
So, like, would you say growing up, you know, you always hear that these Mexicans are lazy and stuff, but would you say that's totally like nonsense or something? Or?
I'm not gonna say it's nonsense, but I will say the Mexicans that work hardest working motherfuckers on the planet, dude.
Yeah. The ones that come from Mexico. For me, I'm Mexican, but I don't work as hard as they. I see them when we would go over there. I would see how they work. I'm like, fuck, I'm glad I live in America.
Yeah, they work like. I'm not gonna make that joke. That's a bad joke. They like Vienno, for example. Vienno, Frankie, because Frankie's he's not from Mexico. He's not Mexican. He's not actually Mexican. He's I don't know. I know he's not Mexican.
He's Spanish.
Yeah, he's a Hispanic. He's Spanish. He speaks Spanish. That's all he speaks. And that's my frustration is I can't talk to him at all. But we're getting it down, though. We're getting it down. I love the way he says power washer because I don't know how it translates in Spanish, but he goes... and he makes the hand gesture. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. But Vienno, man, Vienno works his ass off. He doesn't take breaks. That dude works. And Frankie does too, man. And whenever Frankie gets more experience, that dude works his ass. He will work everybody to death because he doesn't stop. I mean, he'll snack all day, but it doesn't stop. He'll try to work through lunch. And we're like, oh, Frankie, you got to take a break. But Israel, props to Israel, man. He's 61.
Holy shit.
Yes.
I was thinking these are like young, like 20.
I'm the young one. The guy we just hired is younger than me. Everybody else is older than me. By not a little bit either. I think Vienno's in his 40s. Frankie's 32. Looks like a child, though, man. He aged beautifully. He has like whatever the Hispanic version of Benjamin Button syndrome is. Because whenever I first met him, obviously I don't speak Spanish, and I'm kind of stupid. So when I asked him what his age was, he said, I know for a fact he said 32. I thought he said 23 because he looks like a child. And then I think he worked with us for 2 weeks, and we were talking. He was like, yeah, he was saying, telling somebody that his birthday was tomorrow, and I was like, oh, happy birthday, turning 24. And he goes, no, 33. I was like, oh God, what? And then Israel looks like he's in his probably mid-40s. He's aged very well. But I asked him, I was like, how old are you, man? 61. I was like, God dang, dude. I was like, and he's out there finishing and pulling concrete. Like, he's working as hard as he can freaking work. And then we got Miguel, the new guy. I asked him, I was like, how old are you, man? Because he came in he rolled up in a Camaro, tent, younger cat kind of stuff. And he said he was 23, and I was like, fuck yeah, somebody finally younger than me, man. I was like, good Lord, I can take him under my wing, teach him everything he needs to know. I feel weird teaching older guys how to do stuff. I'm over there, I'm having to explain to Israel, what a rim job is. Instead, he doesn't understand what that is. Yeah. It's eating butthole. No, man, it's very odd telling somebody who's old enough to be a grandparent that he can eat my fuck you. You can eat my ass. And call him an asshole and stuff. And then I'm asking if he has any hot granddaughters or anything.
But you get that because I'm older than you, and then Pat and Wade were all older, but you had us working for you, so you've been like that for a while. Right?
Well, so I think I had some really good people in my life that they taught me what I needed to know, and I guess I'm not necessarily authoritative, but if something needs to be done, get it done. I usually know how to do it, or I can figure it out, and so it's always put me kind of in a leadership, not necessarily a leadership role, but a leadership role in the same time, because I don't know, if something needs to get done, let's get it done. But I was never the guy that kind of stood back and was like, hey, let's somebody else tell me how to do it. I'm like, we'll jump in, I'll fuck it up 6 times, but we'll get it on that 7th time. And
so for you, it don't matter as long as we get done.
Oh yeah, man, I'm freaking my boss knows very well, because he'll explain something to me once, I'm like, yep, got it. I'll go out there and do it, and he comes back, he's like, that's not what I wanted at all. That is nothing like I wanted. And I'm like, well, it's done. And he's like, okay, cool, redo it. Do it again, but do it right this time. But I don't know. I act before I think sometimes, and I think that's kind of put me in a leadership role too, because people are like, well, he acts like he knows what he's doing, let's follow him. And then now I'm here. Right? So I kind of know. I know a lot about, or I know a little about a lot now. So that's just, plus me and my dad worked together. He was the boss man owner, I was co-owner. Pioneer Fencing, I was the owner. And so I've always had kind of leadership roles-ish.
Yeah, I could tell when we worked at Highburn, if it wasn't for the old cats, they've been there a long time. You had that, and plus that knowledge that you gain real quick, that learning how to handle that torch and stuff. Yeah,
and I'll give it to Danny on that one, but also Danny might have been one of the reasons I was one of the first ones walked out of there too. It was also Danny, but.
I mean, because that's just oil field. It always.
Well, me and him, man, I very vividly remember Wade getting on my ass because I wasn't in meetings and stuff, because me and Danny were bracing together. But you can't leave your brace partner. You can't just, hey, I'm going to a meeting for the next 20 minutes. I'll see you later. That's not how it works on the line. So, but I remember him, Danny would be like, man, fuck hot cards, dude. Danny, it seemed like Danny never. I know he did. Behind the scenes, I know for a fact he did, but I was trying to be like Danny. Yeah, probably one of the reasons I was the first one walked out of there, because it's hard to be like a guy that's been working there for 20 years. Whenever you're there,
and Danny knew how to run around because he's had so many bosses.
Oh yeah.
Because when I started in 2013, they had this big dude. They had two, one not so big, but they had one big boss. One of them was named Shane. I remember because I was cool with Shane. He actually tried to get me to go over there. I worked in the tool crib. That's how I started. And I was a tent covering for someone that had a stroke. And they were just waiting to see if you can work or not. But then they ended up getting told that he's not eligible to return. So he had to retire, basically. And so instead of offering me the job, the boss at the time was a female boss. she was pretty much telling me, I'm going to let you go and I'm going to find someone that I want.
What an asshole.
That's pretty much what she told me.
What a C word.
Yeah, even the supervisor, he was like, fuck. He told me, he's like, I don't fucking understand why she won't. You already know everything. You got it all down. We don't have to train nobody else. Just don't understand why she won't hire you full time. So she ended up she ended up hiring somebody else, and I had to train them. And so I was like a month or two, I was trying to find another job, and I was talking to Shane. But Shane, I think he said he already had hired some people. So I had to go to. Well, I talked to Randy. That's when I went to talk to him. And the new side. That's how I got hired on the new side. But shit went down when Randy moved up. Shit went south for me on the new side. That's when I left for about 9 months. And then Felix was the one that would help me get back, and he got me.
Felix.
Yeah. He's the one that helped me get back in there.
That crazy guy.
And
He's running 18-wheelers and stuff now, isn't he? He's wild.
I don't even, because I think Marcos had called me, not called, but he had texted me through Messenger and asked if I wanted to come back because they were hiring appraisers really bad, and I'm good, comfortable where I'm at now, so I was just like, I don't know if I want to go back. But from here to Halburn, it's like an hour.
Yeah, it's a freaking hike, dude.
Yeah.
Trust me, I noticed. I noticed, man. I passed Halburn, and I'm like, fuck, dude, has he always lived out here? Because this is fucking way. This is out here. Good
so
Lord.
I was just like, I told her, I was like, I'll send my resume and we'll just see what happens. But I was kind of in hopes that I wouldn't get the job back. Because I was like, I don't want to go back to that
man.
shit. This Braze is fucking horrible, man.
Braze was bad, dude. I've still, to this day, I've still got burns and stuff. My dumb ass, dude. One of the first rules you learn as a Braze: don't pick up anything off the ground with your hands. Yeah. Don't pick up a single thing. That was like they preached it. So like the very first week I was there, they were knocking the slugs out of. I think Robert was hard facing a bit, and he was knocking the slugs out. And my dumb ass, they're made out of lead. It got hot. I went and picked it up. Like, I put it in between. I picked it up and then immediately dropped it because I had like 3rd-degree burns into both sides of my fingers. And that was when I was learning how to braze. So I'm sitting there. It didn't work out too well. And I ended up going to the nurse and got some Neosporin and a Band-Aid. And she was like, how'd you do that? Because that's a work-related incident. You don't. They would have probably told me to leave or something.
Especially when you were training. So,
yes, I'm brand new, dude. And so I was changing a battery that was arcing on something. I made some excuse up. It had something to do with the battery. I know that for a fact. And she was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "I'm positive. I don't know what you're talking." And it like looked exactly like if you would have put it up to my fingers, it matched perfectly. And so I think it was like a 1316 or something. Like it was big.
Shit.
And so I was like, yeah, positive. That's what happened. She's like, okay. And then I was wrapping my fingers up and all that nonsense for 2 weeks before it healed up. It was bad.
Yeah, that's why I don't miss, man. Because I literally burned off all my fingertips.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I burned it all off. Like when I was getting booked at jail one time.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
They forgot to book me in. When I was trying to get out, they were like, we have to book you real quick. Whoever it was didn't book you. So they went and did all that. And they were like, God damn, what do you do for a living? And I was like, I'm a brace welder. Like, fuck, you have no fingertips at all.
Like, I can go rob a bank now.
Yeah, basically, I was like,
Thank you.
could I do that? And you're like, I'm not trying to give you no hints or anything, but yeah, you wouldn't get caught.
Yeah, freaking, dude, my knuckles and everything, yeah, they were bad. And then my dumb ass, trying to follow Danny, be like Danny. Danny used like gardening gloves for the really thin leather gloves for brazing. And I was like, I'm going to be like Danny, man. I'm going to be like Danny. Dude, I went through so many pairs of those gloves until I found out that I could wear. I got this from John. Those black gloves that go underneath. They were something X. I can't remember what they were, but John showed me that trick, and I started wearing. I still wore those gloves because you can move really well in them. Started wearing those gloves, and yeah, my whole world changed. It was fantastic. Hands were only getting a little burnt. It's still burnt nonetheless, but only a little bit better.
Yeah, man, I still don't miss that shit.
No, dude, there's not a day that goes by that I miss it. They called me up right after, probably 6 months after I started with the gentleman I work with now. So about probably 2 years, 2.5 years after they laid me off, I think Wade called me.
Oh, shit.
And Wade was like, hey, man, you want to come back and work at Halliburton? I was like, yeah, sure, dude. Just match what I make now on overtime, and I'll go back. And I just pulled a number out of my ass. And he was like, what do you make on overtime right now? I said, $47 an hour. And he goes, Gary, you know we can't do that. And I was like, I'm not going back. Well, it's like prison, dude. I'm not going back, all right? Never went to prison, though. Yeah, but I assume a beautiful white man as myself would be some chocolate daddy's toy. I'm you know.
I think Robert looked at you kind of funny.
Oh, hey, dude.
Now that you got long hair.
Yeah, I thought Robert was like a father to me sometimes, but may have been stepdad, you know? Not real, no relation. I actually, this isn't recent, this is a couple of years ago, but I did see Robert. I brought him some fence. He was doing a project, I brought him some fence pickets and stuff. And that was kind of cool. And then we talked for a little while. He's like, how you doing? I said, building fence, I hate my life, you know, all that fun stuff. Mixing concrete. It was a good time. It was nice seeing him. I probably should talk to him again sometime.
He was inviting you to the parties you be having?
No. He knows I wouldn't go though.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a partier. Now about a year and a half ago, I probably would have gone. Maybe.
Oh, you calmed down a little bit?
Oh, dude, you don't even know, man. I go dancing. I used to live in bars 5 nights a week. Like me and my buddy Mason, we'd go out and we'd start on Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'd go to different bars too. Like on Tuesdays we'd go to like Shenanigans or a normal bar, and then Wednesday we'd go to Rowdy's in Spring. Thursday we'd go to Shenanigans again, and then Friday it would pretty much be a toss up between Rowdy's, Whiskey River every once in a while, or and then we mixed in Stampede and Stetson's in there a little bit too. So we were going everywhere. He's the one that taught me how to dance, dude. I can throw it down now.
Oh, really?
On the dance floor, man. But yeah, dude, we did that for like a year and a half, and looking back, I don't know how I survived. The amount of alcohol I drank, do not recommend drinking and driving. That is stupid.
Yeah, I know that.
But I probably should have at least one DUI by now, minimum. So Lord save me on that one. You know, good luck, very good luck. But dude, I don't drink anymore really. I mean, not because I don't want to. I'm a social drinker and I never go out, so no drinking. I will hit up Rowdy's every once in a while. Most I do now is I'll go fishing. Obviously, that's where I came from today. I'll go fishing. Now it's hunting season. I want to try to do a little bit of duck hunting, dove hunting. Saturday morning, I go to the same coffee shop every morning, which is actually over here in Conroe. Yeah, I've got an old friend there that reconnected with recently. So started saying hi and stuff, swinging by, but makes damn good coffee too. But started going up there on Saturdays, and then I'll go home, say hi to my parents, all that nonsense. But I've kind of got a little routine going now. I'm an old man, dude. I'm asleep by 10:30 every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. I cannot.
Can't stay up no more?
Oh, man. I don't know. I just get tired.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a given, you know. People get tired, but I don't feel the need to like go out and go dancing and stuff and, you know, rile up all the Cougars like I used to, you know. I mean, that was my favorite.
While we right now, it'd be nice to get Sugar Mama.
Oh, shoot, you're telling me. You're telling me. I do need to visit, try to find me a cougar on 1,000 acres. I want her to be about 70.
Yeah.
Get like, she looks like death's knocking on her front door. I'll make the last year of her life the best year she's ever had. But I want that 1,000 acres. Okay? 1,000 acres out in West Texas or something.
Oh, you trying to go to West Texas?
I'm not trying, but if she got 1,000 acres out there, I'll go wherever she wants me to go. Hey, man, I'm cheap, you know? Well, I guess that's not cheap, but...
It's a plan.
Yeah, it's a plan. Will it come to fruition? Probably not.
You never know, man.
I'm not that lucky, but I also didn't think I was going to catch a redfish this morning. Yeah. So there you go. Stuff happens.
I kind of think like since there's a lot more single people out there, I kind of think like the Cougars are more out now.
I've got one on my TikTok. Me and my buddy Mason, and it was supposed to be a joke, but in the background you can hear like people woo, it's whatever. I think we were doing the wobble, and me and him used to go down on all fours and kind of like hump the ground a little bit. We had a whole bunch of people that used to do it with us. But in the background, you can hear like, whoa, yeah. Not a single person cheering was below the age of 40. Okay, we had blue hairs over there, like beautiful 70-year-old women, kind of. But they were like, we'd go chat them up, get them drinks, then they buy us drinks, they take out their teeth, it's fun stuff,
Speaking like on Friday, this past Friday, we took my wife had just turned 30. And so we took her out to some restaurant where they have banda music and stuff, like actual live banda.
Oh, that's cool.
And we were there till closing, and we noticed some lady. She came to our table. She showed up with other people, but by the end of the night, she was with us or around us.
Nice.
And she was when we were leaving, she was trying to take pictures with everybody and stuff. And she was saying something to my brother-in-law, both my brother-in-law. She was saying something to him, and my sister-in-law was like, "What's she saying?" I told her, I was like, she wants to go home with one of them. That's what it is.
Heck yeah, man.
And they thought I was joking stuff, but when we're outside taking pictures, they noticed that, oh yeah, she's trying to go home.
Oh yeah.
And this was an older lady. Like my wife was like, that's somebody's grandma. I can tell.
Yeah, man. Dude, grandmas are freaks, bro. You never want to think about it, your own grandma. Yeah. I'll tell you what, dude. My buddy, so my boss's son, Teach, my favorite thing in the world to do, because he's very outgoing, and he's very, you can be like, hey, dude, go dance with her, and he'd be like, okay, man. My favorite thing in the world to do was set him up with Cougars. Like, because right when he turned 21, he used to come out with us a lot, whenever me and Mason used to go out all the time. And so we'd go out, and I'd be like, hey, Teach, you need to go chat at that table, and there's not a single person at the table below the age of like 40, minimum 40. And he'd be like, okay. Next thing you know, this man's out on the dance floor with one of them, takes him back to the table, grabs the other one, and takes her out. And I'm like, dude, you got to start taking some of these home, man. You get some trophies or something. And he's like, oh, they're married. And I'm like, you're 21, dude. Who cares? All right. I was like, make your mistakes now. Because later on in life, you get shocked. Okay, but when you're 21, you're still young and spry. You can take out the window. I mean, if you're on the second story, dude, dive out. You may break an arm or something. Me, I'll break a hip. I'll break. I'll be paralyzed. Yeah, dude, I'll hit the ground and I won't move. He won't have to shoot me. I'll just be dead. But I haven't gotten him to take one home yet. But you know what? I'm not going to stop trying.
Eventually, he'll.
But I think he stopped going out with us because he realized that. He was like, why does everybody they set me up with 40 or 50 years old? Why can't they set me up with like a 21-year-old, like somebody my age, not somebody who could be my mom?
I think the older women appreciate it more.
Oh yeah, dude.
They appreciate it more.
Older women love it. As I've realized, the older women they like the attention. They like the fact that like they get to go do something with a younger person. I mean, it doesn't always have to be sexual or anything. They just makes them feel good.
Yeah, that's why.
Sometimes it leads to sexual things, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, if I was still single, I would try with the cougar.
I'll never forget. Mason had a story where it was. So this one, he took home this woman. She was in her 40s, and he was telling me, and I witnessed him taking her home. So, but this was years and years. This is years ago. Because he's in a relationship right now. They're having a great time, and I would hate to put anything in their head, But this was years ago when we were younger. I think we were like 21, 22. He took this woman home, and he said he was leaving, and she had a son that was our age.
Holy shit!
And he said he walked downstairs, saw the son, and was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "What's up?" I was like, if that's the interaction, like how often does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, That's pretty bad whenever the kid's like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, yeah, milk's over there, cereal. Like, if you want to make yourself some breakfast or, get the fuck out of here. It's either or. But I was like, dude, that's so bad.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. I personally do not have a story like that. I'm not looking to have a story like that.
No, that's kind of...
but, stuff happens.
Yeah. You would never know what happened. Like you said, you caught a redfish this morning.
Yeah, I caught a redfish this morning. I was telling everybody I wasn't going to catch shit. I was telling everybody, oh, I'm coming down. I'm like, don't, dude. Fucking terrible. I think literally 10 minutes after I got off the phone with my boss telling him not to come down to Galveston, that's when I caught the redfish. And I was like, oh, he's going to be mad. Because, of course, I posted it on Snapchat, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, I seen that. And I'm like, dang.
Yeah. It was, but man, it was, like I said, dude, it was bad fishing. Like, you toss the bait out, the bait's 50 yards down the beach, about to wash up. I had to put like a pound of weight on it in order to keep it there. Luckily enough, I was overkill as shit. I had my shark fishing set up.
Oh, yeah. So when you and your buddy Kay, when you did your GNC outdoor, y'all would go out deep fishing and stuff like that? Or?
So we did not really have the means. We were both broke, needless to say. So no, we wouldn't go. What we'd do is we'd set up on the beach. I have a kayak, and we would kayak the baits out about 400 yards or so, 350, 400 yards. Drop the bait, and everybody said we never did get a shark. We'd go for sharks. I think there's one on my hat. Yeah. So we never did that. No, never. We never in the. But I don't know what it was. Actually, I do know what it was. We were getting hooked into some big stuff because, like, I've got lines. I have one rod, 80-pound test, monofilament, and I was running a 200-pound wire. Whatever got a hold of it, whenever I set the hook, broke the wire. Damn. Like bit straight through it. I came back and there was a piece of wire about this long. No weight slid off, and no hook, no bait, nothing. And so bit straight through the wire, or I fucked up building it. But we got another one, bit straight through that wire. Got another one, broke. 25-pound test. I mean, there was no stopping it. It took off and stripped all the line off my pole. I started trying to just horse it back in because when you're at the spool, all there is a knot. And so I'm sitting there reeling it back in, and then it broke the line. So shit out of luck on that one. We had my boss brought down some jet skis, so we took a jet ski out, and me and Cade we were tandeming the same jet ski, so I was driving and he was behind me. But we took a rod out there about a mile, and he got hooked into something huge. I think it was a giant stingray. I'm almost certain it was, because we couldn't get it up off the ground. Like, it would fight for a little bit and then suction cut down. And usually, what stingrays will do is they'll put themselves flat on the ground and they kind of flap their wings a little bit, cover them with sand. And so that's what it was seeming like, but we could never. We were on that thing for 2 hours before I told Kate, I was like, hey, either pull it up and it's going to break, or pull it up and we're going to get it in. Yeah, we didn't get it in, it broke. So it was, last summer was bad. I thought I was set up, was not set up. I've caught 6-foot sharks, left and right, 4 foot, 5 foot, but whatever we were hooking into was bigger than 6 foot, or I was fucking up building leaders. But I'd also caught 6-foot sharks on these same exact leaders. So it is what this summer I promised myself, hey, I'm gonna go down there more. I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna get some 49 strand, like 380 pound piano wire, basic. Like, I'm thick ass. Yeah, that didn't happen. This was like my second trip down to Galveston this year, so I completely missed shark season.
Damn. What about, like, I know you said you were getting ready for hunting and stuff, for duck hunting and stuff. You gonna try to get out there more too, or?
Yeah, so I've got a boat. I've got a duck hunting boat. Almost sank it a couple of times, but we won't get into that. I bought it, so I've always wanted to go duck hunting. Always wanted to go duck hunting. Never had the means to. And then Cade had the knowledge. Because shit, I don't know how to spot ducks. Like, a duck looks like a duck to me. But there are different kinds of ducks. Teal, big duck. You can't kill, like, there's certain ducks you can't kill.
Oh, really?
And, oh, yeah, like wood ducks and stuff.
You can't kill those?
Yeah, there's certain seasons for stuff that you just no goes on, and so he wanted to go. I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy a boat. Bought a boat. Boat was a piece of shit. I bought it not knowing this is my fault. I was excited. I bought it. There was a giant crack from the front all the way down where the rivets go. But it wasn't the rivets cracked. It was a crack all the way down to the bottom. And so I bought a welder. Aluminum welded it back up. All that fun stuff. We took the broken ass piece of shit top it had on it, put a new one on, and then we cracked it again, fixed it again. We took the boat out for our last. It was on a Sunday. I'll never forget this. We hooked the boat up. We get out there, making beautiful time. If you're launching a boat, we get out there about 3 a.m. And so we'll launch the boat. Plenty of time to set up decoys and stuff. Well, we stop at Buc-ee's in Baytown. I get out of the truck. We go in. We get everything. We come back out, and I'm sitting there looking at the boat. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, because the nose of the boat is a lot lower than the rest of the boat. Somehow, I managed to. We didn't cinch the boat all the way down up front, so there was space. And if there's space, that 14-inch lift on 42s, it's not the best riding. And so it started bucking. And it bucked so much that it ripped the rivets down both sides all the way down to the base of the boat.
God.
And I've got pictures of it somewhere, I'm sure. But we were already out there. It's 3 a.m. And so I look at Kate. Kate looks at me, and I was like, we're fucking going. Like, we got to figure this shit out right now. I'm not taking it back. We're already out here on Sunday. He was like, okay. So we ended up putting a ratchet strap around it. We ratchet strapped it up enough, just enough, to where it wasn't taking on water when we were running it. And so we ratchet strapped it up. Didn't know it was going to work. It did work, famously. We get out there, beautiful day, ready to kill some ducks. We don't see a motherfucking thing. We don't see a thing. And so, like, there's not a duck in the sky. And we go hunting down in Anahuac, and like, people get limits down there. We just did not see anything in our area. And so we get packing up. We pack up. We unload the shotguns, and at the time it was still dove season. The fattest, juicy, I'm talking, this thing was thick. Like, this was a fat dove. Flew right over us. And I'm just sitting there watching it go, and I'm like, of course, you know? Like, we're out there using, like, shit, dude. What were we using? A 4-shot, I think? Or maybe double Bs? We were using something. But if you shoot a dove with it, the dove will be no more. The dove will cease to exist. So you're not about to shoot it with that. And I think I had a full choke, so I could reach out and poke some stuff. And I think he had an extra full at the time, and then I got an extra full, and then a whole bunch of nonsense. But so we saw that dove, great time. We turn around to go back. Our battery's dead, so we switch it to the second battery. Start it up. We're running. Get halfway back. Texas Parks and Wildlife pulls over.
Shit.
I own the boat. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I've got all the registration. We're all good. Somehow, when I went to Academy, you got to have a duck stamp. You got to have your migratory bird endorsement. So I had my duck stamp. They never put my migratory bird endorsement on my license. But you can't have one without the other. So that was Academy's fuck up. They gave me a warning for that, which I didn't know was a warning. I thought they wrote me a ticket for it, because they did write me a ticket. It was for the registration on one side being completely peeled off, because we went through some breeds, and it peeled the sticker off. So I'm over here thinking, oh yeah, I'll just pay for or I'll get the migratory bird endorsement. We're all good. I went to Academy, got it done, and I was like, okay, I've got a week to figure this out. I'll call the court. Called the court. They're like, I was like, yes, I got my migratory game bird endorsement, all that nonsense. We're good, right? And they're like, that's not what the ticket's for. Do you read the ticket? And I was like, you know I can't read. No, they wrote me a ticket for my registration. The registration takes 2 weeks to come in. This was the Friday before it was due. So I wasn't getting that registration in. And so I ended up, they were really nice. The courthouse that Anahuac has or whatever, they ended up giving me an extension. I got the boat registration. I think I paid $20.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, better than I think it was $385 I would have spent, or $400. But that's not the end of the story, though.
Oh,
That's just that was a little. I got sidetracked there. No, so we're heading back. I've got a long tail on this thing. It's for running through mud and stuff. It sticks about 9 feet off out of the boat with a prop on the end. And so we're running down, and usually what you do is you spin it around. We ratchet strap ours in, which is what you would typically do. Our ratchet strap decided to break while I was doing 75 on 59. The beauty of it is, big ass truck. I couldn't see it. I was dragging that long tail down the highway, doing 75, and finally this very nice Hispanic gentleman pulled up next to me, and his passenger was sitting there like freaking waving like crazy, and he was sitting there pointing at the boat. I was like, oh shit, we got a flat tire or something. And so I go to get on the shoulder, and then I see that whole long tail move over. And so at some point, while it was bouncing, it broke the ratchet strap, came up, and it's 9 feet long. So it had to spin all the way around through traffic to get behind the boat. And so I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? And we must have peeled probably, I think we ground about 3 inches of our, not the prop, but 3 inches of whatever the vane is that goes below the prop. I'm kind of stupid. I don't know what it's called. And then the prop also got fucked up a little bit too. It still runs and everything, but like, man, I could only imagine if that thing swung around and smacked a windshield or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You'd be pissing some people off.
Oh, dude. I was already pissing people off. I could only imagine if it hurt something, like, actually fuck something up. I was making people mad because I was probably throwing sparks 6 feet high right behind me. Couldn't imagine if it just come around into a windshield. Because I wouldn't have known. I would have just kept driving. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything to me. But, yeah, and that was the end. So we didn't shoot anything. I got a ticket. Could have maimed somebody. And then I was also very tired because we went duck hunting the day before.
Yeah, so he was just done.
It was a whole, I told Cade, I was like, hey, we are never doing anything on Sunday again. Like, never. And so then we went bow fishing, I think, on Sunday the next week.
Is that easier to bow fish?
Bow fishing? So bow fishing it's a completely different animal because the way we do it, we walk the bank. There's a couple places down in Anahuac where you can walk the bank and you can, you basically spotlight the gar or the carp. And you got to account for how deep they are. And so you got to shoot under them a couple inches. And then they're always moving. They don't just, 90% of the time, they're not just sitting there. And so this is a whole different animal. He also took me bow fishing for the first time. I fell in love. So that was a great time. We used to go, probably twice a week, 2 or 3 times. So instead of going to the bar, I was going bow fishing. So I was still getting no sleep. I was just doing something active, and it was fun. But I haven't gone bow fishing this year yet either. I'm doing terrible on my checklist of stuff I want to do.
Yeah, you just work. You just mainly working.
Work and sleep, hang out with my dog. But yeah, he took me bow fishing. We've shot quite a few gar. Keep them, make gar balls out of them, eat them. But carp, just kind of throw away. Carp we fed to the gators. Carp are useless, but they're a nuisance species anyway. But and then I can't say this on here. Never mind. We were shooting shad and mullet and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
And if maybe a turtle got shot, which is very illegal, then it got shot. It's accidental. But yeah, we go down to Anahuac. We bow fish down there, and then there's a place over at Wallaceville Reservoir. We go bow fishing over there. It all depends on if the locks are running over there, if there are decent gar in there or not. It's a blast. It's like the mixture of like hunting where you visually see the animal, and then fishing because fish. So, and then after you shoot it, like I shot a hybrid gar. It was like 46 inches. It's a big one, and you hand line it in. So it was wild because I shot it and it just kept swimming. I'm like, okay. And then the moment I put tension on it, thing freaked the fuck out. And so I'm over there, and Cade was over there still drawing on it just in case. Sometimes you got to shoot them with a second one to get the big ones in. But I got it in, and the thing was gnarly. It was huge. definitely I've got pictures and videos of that one. I think I have it on TikTok too, but don't know how it's spelled now. I don't know if it's _outdoors or I think it is. I think it's GNC _outdoors.
Do you still kind of be posting videos on there?
No, I've gotten away from it a little bit. Work's gotten a little busier, and I don't have my partner in crime right now, so gotten away from it. I want to get back to it. You know, be sad to waste $1,800 worth of GoPros, but yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing some a little bit of offshore fishing now, so we may get some content in that. But yeah, I haven't really posted a whole lot of TikTok. I haven't posted a lot of TikToks of anything recently.
Are you still with the Freedom Diesels group? Or?
Yes and no. We kind of got away from it. Because COVID. Whenever we were doing COVID, it was great because everybody was off work. We would do truck shows. We'd do truck shows, do all that fun stuff. We would raise money, donate it, all that fun stuff. But whenever COVID stopped, we got back to our own lives. So stopped doing truck shows, stopped doing this, and it just slowly declined to where we don't really. It's still a group, and a lot of people are still a part of it. But I mean, there was also some drama going on inside the group too.
I've noticed I don't really get that much notification from that like I used to.
Yeah, and we also split it up. There was like Freedom Floaters, which was the boat page, Freedom Cycles, which I was vice president, you know. But I think I owned a Harley for maybe 6 months before that happened. We just wanted somebody that we could trust in it. And then we had Freedom Diesels, Freedom Classics, which is classic cars, Freedom Exotics. I think we had for a little while, which is like Lamborghini stuff like that. And we got too spaced out. And it was just, people were leaving, people got back to their lives, so it was just hard to keep everything together to where now it's just, every once in a while somebody will post in there, sometimes somebody will create a truck show or something, but they're still out there. It's not as big as like HD or anything anymore, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, because HD is pretty...
HD's, they've been big for years, they'll always be big. I mean, they have a lot of members, and they've got a lot of members that aren't only in Houston, so
yeah, they got like different towns and stuff.
Oh yeah, man, I've seen. Shoot, whenever I was on that drive up to New Jersey, which it was a friend of mine, so I guess it doesn't. It counts because we were not together. He was driving up to. I was driving to New Jersey. He was driving to Tennessee for to pick up a boat because he hot-shotted boats at the time. And I just so happened to see him in Atlanta, Georgia. Whenever we started going north, and then I saw him in every state. Like we'd run past him, we'd have to stop and get diesel, we'd get back on, he'd run past us, and I ended up calling him whenever we got up to New Jersey because, you know, talking on the phone and driving, no go in Miss Vanna's book, which is Tom's wife, no go on that. So I didn't want to call him. I called him whenever we finally stopped, and he was like, "Yeah, that was me. I'm up in Tennessee right now picking up a boat." I'm like, "Dude, that's fucking wild." Because we didn't see him until we got through Louisiana and started heading north and hit the edge of Georgia and stuff. So it was very weird. I mean, we were 600 miles from where we live, and it was very odd. But yeah, he was running all over the place. He lives in Houston, but I used to see HD trucks fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I see them in San Antonio.
Oh yeah,
saw
man.
them on my way to Dallas one time. So it's like,
Yeah, it's a big group and everybody's very passionate. So I used to be a part of HD. Got kicked out for various reasons. But
that's when you had your Duramax.
yeah. I do miss that truck sometimes, but damn, dude, that thing was whenever I got rid of it, it was a pile. It was a pile, man.
That's how, like, when I got with my Duramax right now, I'm trying to figure out what is going on that it won't start. Like, all the dash turns on, but it won't, there's no crank power or anything. I'm like, what the fuck?
Does it click at all?
No.
No
I tried that once.
This is going to sound stupid, but I also I succumb to this. Did you check all your fuses?
I started replacing them. Some people would tell me it's probably a fuse. So I replaced almost every single one. I still need about a couple more, but I can't figure out which one it is.
I freaking, on my truck, like my AC went out, And I thought it was like I got a new sound system, I got a new I got a whole bunch of new stuff put on, a lot of electrical work. And so I figured it was something to do with that. Now it was a fuse.
It was a fuse.
Yeah, it was a fuse. So my AC worked when I was doing like 70. So the blower motor was out, right? So I assumed it was the blower motor. Went and bought a new blower motor. Spent the pain in the ass to replace these on my truck at least. Replaced the blower motor, still didn't work. And then I replaced took the whole dash, took everything out. Replaced, there's a shoot, I can't remember what it's called. It has fins on it, but it's impossible to get to without taking your dash and everything out. I replaced that. Still didn't work. Nope, it was a like a 50-cent fuse. It was like a 30 amp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, plugged it in. Fucking fired right up. I didn't have AC for 6 months. I was so stupid. Yeah.
And it was this during like summer?
Yes.
Oh,
this was like 2 months ago.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. It was 2 months ago, man. So I got a new turbo in it too. I replaced it. I took everything off, put everything back in. I had my buddy Kyle come and help me put the new turbo in. And then I went a very non-conventional route with it. All the turbos are VGT turbos now, so you got that whistle. Mine's a non-VGT turbo. So it means I got like a whole lot of turbo lag, but I mean, it works. It got proper tuning and everything for it. But it's a little bit bigger, so I keep blowing my intercooler pipe off, so I need to probably get a new one of those bad boys. But that depends on... It's just one thing after another with the truck, man.
I feel like that's just diesels.
Yeah, when they get to a certain age, I mean, parts are going to go bad. When they get to a certain age, parts continuously go bad. But I have terrible luck though. Like my left tail light was out, like no blinker or anything, so I bought a new set of tail lights from Amazon, of course, because I'm cheap, and installed the new tail lights. And I drove it that was on a Friday. I drove it Saturday, got back home Saturday. One of the lenses for my right tail light had fallen off. My dumb ass. I threw the other taillights away. And they were the same exact taillights. So I could have just as easily taken that taillight off, put the old taillight back in, because it was the right side. It wasn't fucked up. Yeah. Just terrible luck, man. Terrible luck. She's running good right now. Running good right now. So.
You don't plan on going to see Morgan Wallen, any country artists?
I might. It all depends on the day it falls on. If we're pouring concrete, the work is the big thing. Is a lot of the concerts go on. I get off around 7 o'clock, so by that time, to go home, shower up, go brave downtown traffic, and find a parking spot, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And so, last year I saw Parker McCollum and my baby boy Luke Bryan, of course.
Yeah, I remember you went to see somebody. Just came.
Yeah, I went to see Luke Bryan whenever he walked around the whole stadium, and we got tickets from a friend of my now ex-girlfriend, but girlfriend at the time, friend of hers got us tickets, and Luke Bryan was walking around like climbing up the sides and stuff, and like doing his little air humping thing in his tight little skinny jeans. But yeah, we went to see Luke Bryan. We went and saw Parker McCollum. And I think that was it. She may have gone to see another one. I'm not sure with her parents. But I love concerts, don't get me wrong. I want to see my baby boy Coe Wetzel. I would also like to see Treaty Oak Revival and Old 60.
Old 60?
Oh, yes. They play some bangers, man. But I'd like to see them. There's a couple more I'd like to see, but that's if they make their way through Texas. Our area of Texas, because Texas is huge. Yeah. They can't be playing in Amarillo. I'm not going to drive up there to go see that. I'm not going to drive the 6.5 hours up there. If they play in Houston or surrounding area, I'll go see them.
What's your thoughts about Post Malone and them, winning these country, coming out of pop?
So I Post Malone. So I've been listening to Post Malone since I was in high school.
You like Post Malone?
I love Post Malone. I love the fact that he went and he has a whole country album. Yeah. I'm actually probably if my phone's still connected in my truck, I probably played it already because I have it on iTunes. I listen to a bunch of his songs. I like his collab with Morgan Wallen. Love that. He's got one with I've got a guy for that. That's a good one. Killed a Man. That's another good one. Back to Texas. Like he has a lot of good songs. It's kind of weird because it's like pop country, But seeing what Post Malone was to where what he's doing now, I think it's really cool. I like it personally. But that's like Jelly Roll. I was listening to Jelly Roll before he was doing
country.
Yeah, where it was country rap, and that's like Somebody Save Me and stuff. I was listening to Jelly Roll way before that, and then they were talking about him like he's a new up and coming artist. I was like, Jelly Roll's been around since I was like 18, 19.
With him, Struggle Jennings, Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf's a good one too because Eminem endorses him, and I love Yellow Wolf. Same thing with Jelly Roll. I listened to Yellow Wolf for a long time, like Catfish Billy, all that fun stuff. But I also used to listen to like Georgia Boys and Colt Ford and all that. I used to listen to that when I was younger too. Kind of grew out of that stage, but I like Struggle Jennings, Yellow Wolf. But dude, if you go on my playlist, dude, I'm all over the place though. Like I'm everywhere.
We got a whole mixture.
Dude, I've got rap, country, Houston rap, like Slim Thug, Chameleon, like all them. I've got Paul Wall.
Man, you know the DJ on that place we went to on Friday night, they started playing Houston rap. They started playing the Wanna Be a Baller.
Oh,
they started playing that.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, I guess she's not big on rap. She said, "Oh, they're playing Biggie." I was like, "What you say?" She was like, "They're playing Biggie." I was like,
I mean, like Slim Thug, they have like Three Kings, Wood
Grain.
Oh yeah. Dude, but Slim Thug, Paul Wall, dude, I'm all over the place. Mike Dimes is another guy.
Oh yeah.
He's from Houston. He plays some good fucking rap. And then I've got like heavy metal, screamo. I've got a little bit of oh shoot, who are they? I've got a little bit of like dubstep, like dude, I'm all over the place.
So you got a very similar.
Oh dude, and it's bad because I've got to make different playlists for my moods, and so like
I feel like that's what a lot of people do now. They have like for their moods, they have playlists.
Oh yeah, and it all depends on how rough of a day it was. Do I want to roll home and think about like running into a tree doing 100, or did I have a good day? Like I would never do that. I need to preface that I would never.
What do you think about like stuff like that? Like people who, when they listen to music, it sets like a certain mood in them.
So that's a rough subject because there's certain music that's supposed to bring out certain emotions and stuff. Like you got your workout music, but people also work out. Like I've known people that work out to Luke Combs or Luke Bryan, but then you got me over there listening to like Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed and stuff. Or like ICP. Like there's certain genres of music that also and Falling in Reverse, I believe. He talks a lot about it, like the mental states that they were in when they wrote the songs, mental states of people that listen to the music. Like if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But I don't see why if you're sad, probably shouldn't listen to sad country. Because it'll make you feel more sad. Like
Struggle Jennings.
Oh man.
I feel like Struggle, man. But I think he's just singing what he's gone through.
Exactly. Like I'm a huge Co Wetzel fan. I've been mistaken for old Co before. And you know what? I'm proud of it. Now. Back in the day, he was looking pretty rough whenever I was getting confused for him. I went to a Co Wetzel concert over at Constellation Field. It was like, I think it was for the 4th of July or around there. And, dude, I was signing autographs. I mean, everybody was trashed, hammered drunk. But I was wearing, like, jorts, cut-off jean shorts with, like, I was wearing what he would wear. Something like that. And I was over there signing, like, phones and stuff. And my buddies were like, what the fuck's going on? But I look similar to him, some people have said. So that's always fun. I love Co Wetzel music. Some of his music is pretty down. Some of his music's pretty up. But you're right, though. They sing through what they've gone through and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I've never listened to a song and thought, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But that's also my mental state.
I think that's what's hard right now is people's mentality is like either not that strong or it's just
Well, it's hard because where we're at with the economy and everything, people can't win. There's no winning. I mean, you could make 10 years ago if you made $100,000 a year, you were doing fantastic, doing great. Now $100,000 a year is like damn near what you need to get by.
Yeah.
Like you'll have a little money left over, but it all depends on how you live too. And so, I mean, if you have a paid off truck, cheap house, stuff like that, you're doing fantastic. I mean, you have a little bit of money to spare, but a lot of the time, dude, $100,000 is just not. It's crazy because people make it. People make it all the time with less than that. But it's all about the lifestyle. But everything's just hard, man. Houses are expensive. Interest rates are up. Trucks, shit. Brand new limiteds are as much as like a double wide now. $125,000, $140,000 trucks for a truck. That's just crazy to me.
I was looking because I was thinking about trading my Duramax for a Cummins, and I didn't want no brand new one, but the Wishnooka we got here, Team Dodge, they got nothing but new, I think, and so I was looking into. It was like $60,000.
Yes,
and I was like, and it was a work truck, like with the flat.
Yep, the base model started like Fords. I'm not very versed in Cummins and Chevy and the pricing. I am very versed in Ford because I've been thinking about buying a new one for 2 years now. But dude, they're base model like single cab, short bed, Power Strokes, F-250s start at like $60,000. What? That's freaking just insanity. And then the moment you go up to like an XLT, it's like 64, 65.
Yeah, they keep going.
Yeah, you go XLT. You got then you got like King. I have a King Ranch right now. King Ranches are they start or Lariat start at like 80, 74. They've gotten out a little bit. 74, 75 if you find the right one. King Ranches start at like 85.
Shit.
Platinum start at 85 to 90. Limited start at like I think 90. And then it just goes up from there because of options and stuff. Yeah. It's just insane to me that a truck note is as much as a house note was 10 years ago for like a $300,000 house.
Yeah.
I mean, $2,000, $2,500 a month for a truck. Shoot, that was how much people were paying for houses.
Yeah.
And now, like, you got apartments and stuff that are $1,700, $1,800, $2,400. All depends on 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, apartments back then was only $800.
And then
most.
Now you can take Now you take $100 bill to a grocery store and you buy like a box of cereal and 2 Powerades. Back not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you take $100 in and you could buy food for a week. Mm-hmm. I mean, just stuff has gotten so insane. And election's coming up, but just how much do you want to spend on food? Yeah. I'm not going to sway one way or the other, but it was cheaper with Trump, and everybody talks shit. Oh, he got a bad rap because, in my opinion, he got a bad rap because may not be the greatest person, but he was great for the economy. I mean, oil was booming, we were doing solid in oil, fuel was down, all that fun stuff. But what are we on time?
Well, that's about to die. That's usually about 2 hours. Yeah, we started at 2:30. So, but yeah.
Oh shoot, man! You gonna go in, edit it all and stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna take some clips, put it on TikTok.
Hell yeah, dude!
That's what he's gonna do.
Heck yeah! Shoot, but yeah, man. I think in my opinion, the best option would be economy versus feelings. That's kind of what's going on right now. Trump may not be a great person, but he will be great for the economy. Kamala Harris, I'm not a fan of personally, but I wasn't a fan of Joe Biden either. It has nothing to do with that they're Democratic. I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party, obviously. Hunt, fish, all that fun stuff. But I'm just not a fan of the way she portrays herself. Like, she goes through, she like fakes accents and stuff like that. Like, all of a sudden she was a Southern Louisianian black woman. Like, in one of her speeches, I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me because she did not talk like that the rest of the time. She talked about collard greens and stuff. It's like, it just doesn't sit well with me. Yeah. At least Trump doesn't beat around the bush.
Yeah, he's straight up. Yeah, at least he'll tell you straight up, I'm fucking this country up.
But
stuff like that.
Yeah, he's a straight shooter. I think he'd be best for the economy. Man made a lot of money. Man's lost a lot of money. So
that's what a lot of people respect him. That is the fact that he lost wealth because he was a wealthy man. He didn't need to. Get into it.
He lost. I think he was a billionaire, and he lost like $1 billion, which is just an insane amount of money if you think about it. Because we will never make $1 billion in our entire lives. Neither of us. You could combine what we make and probably every family member that we have, and we won't even be near $1 billion.
We'll spend $1 billion.
Oh shit! I'll try my best. If they let me, I'd spend $1 billion. But he lost $1 billion, which is incomprehensible to most people, all people, damn near all people. And he would donate everything that he made from because presidents, they have a salary. He donated all of it. I think his salary was 1 penny. The rest was donations. So any man that's willing to go, get ridiculed, lose a lot of money, and still want to go back and try it again.
That's one thing that I hate that the media doesn't show that he actually, like when Hurricane Sandy, I don't remember what hurricane hit when he was in office, but he went out and donated like boxes of cereal stuff.
He does the best he can.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a busy man. Being a president's also very busy, but the media is looking for stuff that people want to. They're very polarizing.
Yeah.
They if he goes golfing, bam, he's golfing instead of saving the country, or bam, he's doing this instead of saving the country. Where was he doing this? It's very polarizing. So they want you to think way one way or way the other. They want you to hate the man. They want you to love the man. It all depends on the outlet. But in the grand scheme of things, we didn't have a war going on when he was president. Russia did not want to fuck with anybody when he was president. Now I think Putin was talking about backing Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
That's not good. When you have a foreign country backing somebody that they're not necessarily in the right in some things, that may not be a good candidate. I don't know. I'm nowhere near being president. I'm versed in politics, but only to a point. But yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. Yeah. Russia's always been bad. But
they call him like the two backstabbers, like the two faces.
But Trump was also, I think he was the first president to set foot on North Korean soil.
Yeah.
He went up and shook the hand, and North Korea didn't want to fuck with anybody either. Because I think it wasn't the fact that they thought Trump was going to do it, but there was that thought in the back of their mind, if we fuck around, Trump will let us find out.
Yeah.
But that was never a thought with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. It's not there were other countries going around fucking around with other people, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Joe Biden. It's always that thought. You fuck around, you find out. Trump was the definition of, hey, I'm gonna have my finger on this button, just try me. So.
Yeah, that's what nobody. Yeah. They fuck around, find out it was the person that'd be.
It would be fucking Trump. He no filter on Twitter. Fucking. Oh man, that dude was wild.
That's another thing that always got him is that he's on his phone a lot.
He has that man's. Take the man's phone away, get him off Twitter. Okay, it would have been so much better if But that's what made him different too. He was the first president to go on Twitter and actively be on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's wild.
You gotta do whatever you want on it.
Hey, dude. But they're fucking him up in New York right now. They may he's still going through all those. He's going through court stuff and all that. Who knows? That man may be in prison come November.
Yeah.
So there is no telling.
That's gonna suck though.
That would kind of suck. That would kind of. There's plenty of other Republican candidates, but I don't know if they have as strong a backing as Trump does, because it's Donald Trump. Trump was huge in news and huge in the world way before he even thought about becoming president. So, but yeah.
Man, I won't take too much of your time. Thank you for coming down, especially from Pasadena.
Oh man, hey,
I know it was a long time.
I enjoyed it. I was excited. I've never been on first podcast. I'm sure I made an idiot out of myself, but
let's see. I know. I'm sure people are gonna probably enjoy it because got like great stories around him.
Well, they're gonna be over there like, why won't that guy shut the fuck up? Let Andy talk. Right. He just loves the sound of his own voice, which is not,
That's the whole point of the podcast. When you have someone coming up, it's like have them pretty much express what they want.
We sure as hell covered a lot of topics. We were all over the place.
And that's what I was saying. And I know some people are like, well, I always ask, what kind of questions is it? Like, I don't have questions. I just
go off the dome.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot. And trust me, there are plenty more stories. But, hey, if people like it, I'll come back on.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back.
Now, whenever people are saying, hey, that racist white guy, we don't want him back anymore.
Oh, God, next Friday I got a black guy coming back.
To pull her off again. Pull her out. Oh, man.
He came last week, but he had to leave early because he had to go to work that next day, so he couldn't stay long. But he said he'll come back next Friday, and he's gonna be off. So he said,
"Hell yeah, man, that'd be fun." I'm gonna start doing some research. I'm gonna get in this podcast game.
Yeah, a lot of people do it.
Me and Cade were thinking about starting one, but me and my buddy Mason we were also thinking about it. We could not have started one though. There's no way, because me and Mason, we had some stories, but dude, you had to have a special kind of tism to watch us.
I think a lot of people. That's what a lot of people are liking though, is the fact that you guys, because there is some white people. I think some country white people that are bringing their stories out, and people are loving this stuff.
I love how you
white people. Yeah, I just can't remember the names.
Yeah, dude, there's some country white people. I mean, they're doing good.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. I've been seeing a lot of like Joe Rogan Experience. Obviously, that's been around for a while. But I mean, there's a lot of them with like Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, I started watching him a lot more now.
Oh yeah, Theo Vaughn has one. Then there's the Two Bears. I can't remember the comedian's name. Two white guys, of course. But they're hilarious. It's Bert Kreischer and what's the other guy's name? But they're two comedians. They're fucking hilarious. But they'll have Theo Vaughn on, Steve-O, like all those.
Yeah,
they're great. That's all. I mean, whenever we're running machines, that's all we listen to.
Yeah, that's why people love podcasts, because it's just a lot of people are just talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and it's everybody's point of view or perspective on all this stuff.
Yeah, but
that's what makes it great.
Heck yeah, I better go check on my dog. He hasn't shit in my truck yet.
Well, Garret Park, everybody, thank you again. If you want to follow him, where can they reach out to you?
Oh, good Lord. You know what? Let me pull out all the handles. I don't even remember what my Instagram is anymore.
You don't really get on it that much, huh?
Dude, I live on it, but I never post anything on it. So I am bearded _6.7, and then the old GNC Outdoors is GNC _outdoors, and then I believe TikTok might be the same way. My old TikTok is bearded _6.7, and then GNC _outdoors. I keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. If everything's the same, I'm a simple man with a simple plan. But
yeah, Garret Park, everybody. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Oh, dude, it was fun. I had a blast.